Big Bend National Park, a land carved by time and silence. This is our weekend of desert camping, quiet mornings, wide open skies, and slow days with our ModBug camper. Big Bend became a national park in 1944, protecting over 800,000 acres along the Rio Grande. It holds one of the largest expanses of the Chihuahuan Desert in the U.S., remote, rugged, and humbling. This land has been shaped by wind, water, and volcanic fire. The Chizos Mountains rise from the desert floor remnants of eruptions more than 30 million years ago. The road into Big Bend stretches like a promise, bending through mesas and ancient ridges. We passed Persimmon Gap as the sky softened, then opened, rain sweeping across the stone, a rare desert gift. The clouds danced between the mountains, the colors deepened, and we arrived just as the storm moved through and the desert felt refreshed and alive. We set up camp at Rio Grande RV Park, hooked in, powered up, and still surrounded by wilderness. The wind arrived in full force, sweeping through the canyons and pulling the clouds in from Mexico, tumbling over the ridgelines in slow motion. It looked exactly like a tidal wave coming over the mountains and was beautiful in all its glory. Weather in Big Bend is extremely unpredictable. Winds often funnel through the mountain gaps, gusting hard and fast, especially after spring storms. The clouds we saw likely formed over the Sierra del Carmen mountains just south in Mexico. Besides the wind, the site was quiet, with views that stretched for miles and everything we needed: simple comforts, stillness, and shelter from the wind. That night, we curled up in the ModBug with a movie and let the storm pass. Before first light, we made our way towards the hot springs. Pottery from across the river sat by the trailhead, a tradition of quiet exchange, borderless and human. The trail leads past the ruins of a once thriving desert bathhouse, weathered walls, stone steps, cottonwoods rooted deep in the riverbank, the morning sun just beginning to paint the cliffs in gold. These hot springs once belonged to a man named J.O. Langford, who came here in 1909 seeking healing from malaria. He homesteaded the land, built a bathhouse and store, and welcomed travelers for decades. The 105-degree waters come from a deep fault line beneath the earth. Even today, the spring produces 200,000 gallons of warm water daily, naturally heated and rich with minerals. Everybody recommended that we get here very first thing in the morning because there's hardly any people, and we are so lucky that this morning we are all by ourselves. So super excited to enjoy the hot springs. This land has been home to people for thousands of years, from the Chizos and the Humano tribes to Spanish explorers, later ranchers. Petroglyphs and pottery shards still rest in sheltered canyons left untouched. The drive back brought another quiet surprise: donkeys among the brush, gentle shapes in the morning light, reminding us that this place belongs to more than just us. At camp, the smell of chorizo and eggs filled the air, a warm meal after a quiet morning. There's something timeless about breakfast made outside. Although breakfast was delicious, I definitely struggled with some of the wind and the black stone grill. I had to dig out some foil in order to keep that wind from blowing out my fire, but we finally figured it out and it was absolutely delicious. Okay, welcome to Big Bend National Park. This weekend, we are deciding to have a little getaway to one of our favorite places. Last weekend, we had a Highland Games over in the Houston, Texas area, which is extremely hot and humid. So this weekend, we decided to take it the completely opposite way, where we were going to go spend some time out in the Texas desert. It sounds like it wouldn't be that nice, but trust me, it is dry. It is nice weather, and typically it's a little hot at this time of year, but we got very lucky because a cold front came in on this weekend too. The drive down here takes about 5.5 hours from our home, so it is quite the trek, but we break it up by stopping to get gas and, just stretching our legs at different gas stations along I-10. Then once you get off of I-10 and start heading south towards Big Bend National Park, the drive goes a lot faster because you start seeing that beautiful desert scenery. We're camping at Rio Grande Village at the RV park this time. We usually like to camp in the backcountry. I had booked a campsite in Great Pine Hills, which is a really nice spot that we camped last spring, just past the Balanced Rock Trail. But unfortunately, since we got our new off-roading camper, I read the fine print and it said that you cannot bring any type of trailer on the last 2 campsites, which we had one of those. So we could technically bring it on the 2 that are closer to Panther Junction, but not the ones that we had. So sadly, I had to come back towards civilization, and we got super lucky that there was a spot available here at the RV park for the first 2 nights. So Friday night and Saturday night they had, but Sunday night we had to get a RV park near Terlingua, which is totally fine because we like to spend some time in Terlingua as well, and we haven't really explored it that much. So this time we're going to get a lot done.
You're talking about the weather. It is beautiful feeling right now, but last night that wind was a whipping. I mean, it was like 30, 40 mile per hour winds with gusts even stronger. We could feel it in the trailer just moving. We decided instead of using the pop-up that we were just gonna set up the Jeep for the girls to sleep in, which actually turned out great. They said they loved it. I just rolled down the windows about 2 inches each on each of them, so then they had a little bit of a breeze going through there, and it got down into the low 60s at night, so it got to a really nice temperature.
This morning, man, it's maybe 70 degrees. I mean, I'm in sweatpants and a sweatshirt because the temperature fluctuates so dramatically. One minute it could be like 105, and then the next minute it's a huge cool front comes in. So they did get some rain too, which we've never experienced rain in Big Bend National Park. So that was really kind of cool to see. The storms just rolled through and came over the mountains, and it was so neat to see that. So this morning we woke up nice and early, and I was like, kids, get up. And still dark outside. I was like, let's get up and go to the hot springs, because I am not a fan of the hot springs. I'll say it. I'll admit it. I know. Because the times that we have gone, it's been like 50 people or more, and they're just like taking a giant bath with a bunch of people, and the water silt, like natural silt that's in the bottom, is all just kicked up, and it's not pleasant. So all these amazing pictures, you see that this beautiful little hot spring and there's nobody there. I never have experienced that. So I'm like, okay, this is my last chance of trying this, because after this, if it's not good, I'm not going again. I'm over it. And we went this morning at sunrise, and it was fantastic. We arrived and there was a man leaving at the time that we arrived. So we had the entire thing to ourselves for maybe a couple minutes. And then another couple arrived, which totally fine. Everybody just kind of was quiet and chilled in their spots. Really pleasant. a lot more pleasant than the other times. The water's crystal clear. It's bubbling up out of the little hole, and we just enjoyed the sun peeking up over the mountains. And we finally left right when it was like right at the point where it was shining on the hot springs, and some more people started showing up. So if you're going to go to the hot springs, especially on a weekend, I would definitely recommend going and checking it out right at sunrise. You might have like one or two people, or you might get lucky for a little bit and be alone like we did, but yeah, much more pleasant.
We're going to probably do a little bit of off-roading today, and so Mama can just kind of sit back, relax, listen to some music, and then we're thinking about doing maybe 1 or 2 hiking trails.
So when I'm driving down, I was looking at All Trails. It's an app that I use. It's the best app, I think, to find hiking trails. It's got great descriptions and information, even trail previews where you can like see the route and the elevation gain and how long it takes, and pictures if people have uploaded pictures. It's great. So Santa Elena Canyon Trail he wants to go to. We did that last time with just us two. We thought the kids would like that one. It's pretty simple. It's a little bit difficult on the uphill going there because it's like a zigzag to get up, and then once you're up, you're good. And then also there's a trail, I don't remember the name of it, but I'll put it up. It's on the Old Ore Road, which is an off-roading road. So high clearance vehicles only. It looked really like a pretty and easy trail, like a mile down and back. So we'll see what we can come up with today. And this morning we ate breakfast after the hot springs and had coffee. I made some chorizo and egg tacos. Everybody had like 4 tacos this morning, or tortillas. So that was really, really good. Chorizo and egg tacos are always a hit for these kids. All right, so we're going to just get all the stuff put away before the giant raven decides to come and eat everything. It's over there.
It's hopping.
And we'll go see what we can find to do today. After breakfast, we packed sandwiches for the road because we knew we'd be in the car most of the day, and we didn't want to stop in order to make our sandwiches on the side of the road. We headed out past the visitor center and decided to fill up on some water and just check out what's going on in the park. They have tons of information. We aired down our tires and were ready for Old Ore Road, a historic mining route turned scenic back road, winding quietly through corners most visitors never see. You definitely need an off-roading vehicle in order to access this road because it is extremely bumpy. Along the road, we found a solitary grave. These moments, the unexpected ones, anchor you in the history of this place. The trail to Ernst Tinaja is short but rich. Layers of ancient stones, pools carved by time, canyons shaped by patience. We climbed, explored, and let the silence linger.
Slowly.
Old Ore Road once carried wagons of silver and zinc mined from the mountains. Today, it's one of the few places you can still feel how vast and silent this place really is. Ernst Tinaja, Tinaja meaning natural water basin, is carved by flash floods that funnel through narrow limestone canyons. In the dry season, these pools can be a lifeline for desert wildlife. More than 1,200 plant species grow here, along with over 450 bird species. In spring, desert marigolds and bluebonnets bloom in the washes, bright colors against the beautiful rocks. We had a quiet evening at our campsite, wandering around and enjoying the beautiful weather. I made some fajitas on the grill and again struggled with the wind. But the horses wandering by made for a beautiful view. A group of javelinas moved like shadows between the campsites, and we definitely kept wary of them. These twilight hours are my favorite, when the light is soft and everything slows down. Sunday began with coffee, a calm drive, and a stop at Terlingua for lunch at Venga. Venga is tucked away in the heart of Terlingua, a small desert outpost with a big creative spirit. The food here is a blend of comfort and imagination, elevated flavors, unexpected combinations, and the kinds of dishes that slow you down. We ordered poutine with red chili gravy, shrimp tacos with a citrus kick, pancakes dusted in cinnamon, and a crisp avocado toast, a mix of diner and desert bistro. Inside, there's a small gear shop with maps, patches, trail snacks, enamel mugs, and it feels like a place just made by people who live close to the land but appreciate a well-brewed cup of coffee. Terlingua itself was once a booming mining town in the early 1900s. Cinnabar, the source of mercury, was extracted from these hills. When the mines closed, most people left, but the town never lost its spirit. Today, it's home to artists, guides, travelers, and stories that echo in the canyon walls. That afternoon, after lunch, we hiked into Santa Elena Canyon. Santa Elena Canyon is one of the crown jewels of Big Bend. The Rio Grande cuts this path through solid limestone, revealing a canyon over 1,500 feet deep. The river marks the border between the United States and Mexico, but here it feels like a single landscape. The rock here is 100 million years old, part of a vast limestone seabed formed when this region was covered by a warm, shallow ocean. Over time, the water carved the canyon we walk in today. The trail begins with a steep climb, then flattens as it follows the riverbed. You'll often hear only wind, birds, and your footsteps. In the heat of the afternoon, the canyon walls glow with color and shade becomes a gift. Local legends say that the canyon's echo can carry a voice across the river. Standing between these cliffs, it's easy to believe stories stretch farther than sound. This quiet valley was once part of the Homer Wilson Ranch, also called the Blue Creek Ranch. In the 1940s, it was one of the largest ranching operations in Big Bend. The family ran thousands of sheep and goats across this rough desert land. You can still see the remnants of their home site. Stone walls, a windmill, and the bones of a life carved from the dry ground. The Wilsons left after the park was established in 1944. The land stayed, and so did the wind. Our last morning started as it always does when we are near Terlingua with breakfast at Espresso Y Poco Mas. It's tucked into the heart of the ghost town, and we never miss it. Tamales, house-made beans, tortillas, eggs, good sausage, and amazing coffee under the desert light. It's one of those rare places that feels like it belongs, simple, welcoming, and full of character. The patio is quiet in the mornings with views of the Chisos Mountains in the distance and locals drifting in and out. Just down the hill is Terlingua Cemetery. Weathered wooden crosses, hand-carved stones, offerings of candles and bottles, each gave a memory anchored in the desert. Most of the graves belong to miners and families from the early 1900s when Terlingua was a bustling cinnabar mining town. Today, it's quiet. The wind moves through the serasote bushes and wildflowers. The stories remain carved in wood and stone. Big Bend stays with you, the stillness, the scale, the beauty that doesn't ask to be chased. We'll be back very soon, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see all of our future adventures.